I, 31F, just finished baby naming ceremony for my newborn daughter. For some details, we'll tell about my father. My father dumped my mom more than 3 times. He left me and my mom when I was in second year of college. I worked my butt off to get good grades and place in a good company and earn good amount to support my mom. Eventually I got placed in a good company and in a good position and earned good amount of money. When my husband, 31M, came for marriage proposal, arranged marriage, I came to know that he was off from a wealthy family. His father and his elder stepbrother are business CEOs. His biological elder sister, who was a lawyer and a loving stepmother and a teenage half-sister, and is also a CEO of his own company. My mom was hesitant to accept the proposal. But my mill said she loves me and would like to be engaged with my husband. My mom told openly about my father to everyone in the family. Sure, after that they still accepted the proposal, and a week later I was engaged. And after a year I got married to my husband and went a 1-month honeymoon. When I was pregnant with my first child, my father came back, and for some months my mother's side relatives tried to make them together as a couple, because they believe the divorce is not going to be okay in society when they are going to become grandparents. After that my dad visited me. I was not ready to connect with him or letting my first child, a son, to have a connection with him, but my husband said to give a chance to him. Eventually I gave a chance to him and talked to him. He was looking forward to my first child because he was excited to become a grandpa, and I just nodded. But I could tell he did not like my husband. At that time I thought that things could get better, but until my father mentioned to keeping a name to my son, and I was angry about it and we argued a lot. You see, me and my partner wanted to keep a name related to ocean or water, and we already had the ideas. After frequent arguments, my father decided to not come to my baby naming ceremony for my first child, and this became a great fight between me and my father over the phone that day, and he said that if he couldn't name my son, he won't come to the ceremony either. I got mad, so I cut the call and I acted off casual and named my son as per me and my partner's wish. Now when I was pregnant with my daughter, my father demanded that he is going to keep the name for my second child, and my mom immediately argued to him that is our choice to keep. And today at the ceremony, where my father was present this time, he called out a name of his choice instead of the name we kept. I got mad, and after the ceremony when all the guests are left, I asked him to come to my room and I yelled at him for tell the name of his choice rather than the name we kept. My father told me that I was selfish to keep the name of our choice rather than the name he suggested. Obviously the name was ugly and I don't want my kid to be bullied at school for her name, and I just told him to get out of the room and went to my room and started to think if I was right. So Reddit, Ada here? Am I wrong to keep a name of me and my husband's choice? Am I just overreacting for my father response? Please, I need some advice. Comments. Oop responds to comments on the family traditions or culture. Oop, in our culture, the grandparents have the rights to name their children's newborn baby with a consent from both of the parents, and all the elders has the right to give name suggestions for the baby. What I am trying to convey is that my father choose a name that is not a meaningful, and also if I keep the name my son or daughter would constantly get bullied in school. So I did not want to keep a name of his suggestion. Hello. Actually, we also have a family tradition where we could keep our great-grandfather or great-grandmother name or a name of our choice. We are not that much orthodox, but what I am trying to convey here is that my father, who abandons me constantly and show no support when it came to my life's important decisions. And now, after whatever he had done, he wants to name my second child on his suggestion. Let me tell you that the name he came up with has no meaning in our mother tongue and also included his mother's name, which is obviously has a no match, and I don't want my child would constantly get bullied for her name in the future. Curse date 18. Tell your father he's delusional for thinking he has any right to name your child, and you think he should get checked out by a doctor, then block and ignore his tantrums. He can either grow up and realize how unimportant his opinion is and apologize, or keep on staying out of your life. Oop, I wish I could cut my father out, but my mother's side of relatives said that I should keep connection with him because he was a grandpa now and I should keep in touch with him. Update 1, August 9th, 2024. So hi everyone, and I am here for an update. Some of you gave me some advice, thank you a lot. It made me feel that what I did was right. Thank you for all the comments. I tried to reply to all of you, but I couldn't because I was busy with the manager of the ceremony hall to settle the remaining amount. So today afternoon my father and mother left for their place, their home. And my husband was a bit mad about something. When I asked, he said that my father called him to talk in private. As he arrived, my father demanded to change our daughter's name and my husband refused and said that it was our choice to keep the name, and after whatever he had done to me and my mom, he doesn't have the rights to keep the name for our baby. For some details, back then when my mom was pregnant with me, my father refused to come my checkups and my mom begged to move in a place where her office is nearby. But my father refused to do that, and my mom quit her work because she couldn't handle the work stress during her pregnancy, and my father's aunt asked rudely to my mom why the heck she quit her work. When she said the reason to my father's aunt immediately told her to join her work, and my mom refused and packed her belongings to stay with my maternal grandparents. Obviously my grandpa took care of all the expenses and there for my mom during her pregnancy. When I was born, my paternal grandparents were disappointed. They expected the boy, instead I was born. My father was also disappointed too. So eventually my husband had a heated argument with my father which made their relationship even distant. And I am so disappointed by my father's act towards my husband. Later, after some hours later, I received a text from my both paternal grandparents and my father saying they were disappointed for not letting my father to keep a name for my daughter, and I didn't reply them back and just ignore the message. In the meantime, my son is hosting a toy tea party and a welcome party for my daughter with his toys and invited me, my husband's siblings and his grandparents. He is having a good time and enjoying himself and entertain his newborn sister with the toys he has. I don't know if I would update back, but if something happens I will surely update you all guys. Comments. Oop gets advice to tell her mother to divorce her father, and not listening to the relatives for telling the mother to stay with her husband. Oop, as far as I have known, my mom is strongest woman and inspiring parent for me. She worked so much long, she would have divorced him a long ago, but my mother's side relative thought it was a bad idea and it would affect the relationship with him and me. My mom would divorce him a long ago, but my mother's relative think it would affect the relationship and the communication BTW me and my dad, and a divorce is not a solution according to them. Update 2, August 10th, 2024. This is gonna be a long post. So hi everyone. Thank you for your advice, and a lot of you advised me to go NC with my father and his parents. I couldn't reply to all because I was busy getting off from my phone to relax and keep mind bit fresh and get out from this situation. Before telling the update I want to clear something first. So a lot of called my mother's side relatives a lot of name which I disagree, because from the day when my father abandoned me, they have been helping us out both financially and in terms of support. When my father wanted to reconcile with me and my mom, a lot of my mom's relatives argued about this and told my mom to divorce him, but our elders said that less communication is the problem and told my mom to reconcile with my dad. My mom refused, but the sake for me and her grandchildren, she reconciled. I have taken a decision to go NC with my dad. And please don't use any language to scold my mom's relative because they have supported us a lot. Please, this is my kind request. Today morning I have woke up pretty late and my mill asked if I was okay, and I told her that I am in a lot of stress and my body pains a lot after childbirth, and she said she will keep the food and the medicine ready and gave me a warm hug and told me to get fresh up. After getting fresh up, I saw my 3-year-old son sitting and sleepy. After he saw me and he immediately ran, which would cause to fall, but I caught him and he hugged me tightly and did not let go of me, and he ate breakfast with me. Before going NC with my father, I had to discuss with my Phil, my husband, to take this decision. My mill agreed, but she told that the kids need to know who were their maternal grandpa, and for the sake of the kids, I should go LC with, but I told her if I go LC with him, he would probably worse his relationship with all of us, and she agreed. My Phil told it was my call to make, and my husband also agreed. And I have announced both in my father and mother family. Both side of family have separate group. I gave a detailed description only to my father's family. My mom's family group knew about what are the struggles we've been through. Some of my father's side relatives called me and demanded an explanation to go NC with my father, and I told what he had done in the past 20 years in my life. They argued to me that I am go NC with my father is wrong, which I gave a cold stern reply to them that they also failed to advise or warn to my father about what he has done to my mom and to me, and if they continue to talk like a piece of crap, I'm going to cut them off. They got irritated and hang up. Some distant relatives called me and apologized to me that they don't know what my mom and me have been through, and they thought I was doing well with my dad and asked if I could forgive them. I told them that I have to think about it and cut their call. My mom's side relative totally agreed with me, and I have talked to my mother about the divorce last night, and she said she didn't want to do it and she left him, and I asked what happened. She said that my father told her to demand to me to change the name of the baby and she refused. My parents got into a good 2-hour heated argument, and my mom just left their home and told both my father and his parents that they were useless and a disappointment, and now my mom is staying in her apartment. I was happy that my mom is now going to live peace when I got an unknown call. I attend the call and it was my paternal grandparents. I immediately cut the call and again it was them. I decided to listen to them and they argued to me about my decision of going NC with them, and I reminded them how disrespected my mom and they were verbally abusive to my mom before I was born and supported my father's choice of ruining my life, and we got in heat argument of whole 25 minutes and I cut the call. I couldn't take any more and I just lay down in my bed when I got another call. It was another unknown number call. I wasn't ready to attend any unknown calls. My phone rang continuously maybe 4 or 5 times, and in irritation, I attended the call and it was my dad. I was about to cut his call when he said in strict tone that wanted to talk. I ignored him and cut the call, and he called me again, and I had no option that if I wouldn't attend his call he will keep on calling me. So I attended his call and he stated that he was disappointed and argued that I should not go NC with him. I argued that about his absence in my 20 years of my life. He never there when I was born. He was never there in my birthdays. He was never there to defend me from the bullying in school. He was never there when teachers and friends asked me where was my dad. He was never there for my engagement and my marriage. After hearing this, my father just simply cut the call. Maybe I think I shouldn't answered his call. I started to cry, and hearing my cry, my husband came to me, hugged me and comforted me, and my mill came after hearing my sobbing and hugged me and told everything is going to be alright. After this my son came to our room to ask my Mill to change the television channel because he is going to watch cartoon. My Mill was watching Indian series, and after seeing me crying, he immediately hugged me and asked if I was healed? And I just nodded and he ran to see his cartoon. Now I am okay and I am writing this post. I am going to cut off my father in my life and my kid's life too. Please tell if I made the right choice. Thank you. Comments, Deba Coleman 1010, you certainly are making the right choice. NTA. Oop, thank you. Roadkill for snacks. By allowing abuse in your home and life, your kids will be given loud obnoxious role models that will demonstrate that it's beneficial to perpetrate abuse to others or normal receive abuse from your loved ones. Alert Bedroom 3310. You need not be considerate with people who did not consider you. Deadbeat father and family are coming back to claim their lineage, now that it's convenient. And judging by their demands, they still don't think they've done anything wrong to get the cold shoulder. Update 3, August 11, 2024. Everyone is sobbing mess now. I thought this would be the end if I cut off my father, but he bring up a big mess. So hi everyone, thank you for your support and a lot you said I made the right choice. Thank you for support my decision and understand my situation. And a lot had happened yesterday evening and today morning. Yesterday, I have gone into deep thinking I couldn't control my emotions and I couldn't stop think if I took the right decision but to take this out my mind. My husband asked me if we could go out to take this situation out of mind. I said yes and went to a nice restaurant. He tried to distract me with many topics and with my favorite food but I couldn't get distracted, and after we had our dinner, we went back to home and I just went to bed. Today morning me and my husband were sitting in the balcony and talked about our school days till when he noticed a familiar figure and he went pale and rushed downstairs. I took a look and it was my husband's abusive biological mom standing in the entrance and started to walk towards our home. After some time, when I went down, I saw my husband sitting in couch feeling anxious and my Mill comforting him, and my father-in-law, sister-in-law and brother-in-law arguing with my husband's bio mom. My sister-in-law, brother-in-law's wife, tried to calm him down. Somehow my husband's bio mom spotted me and saw our wedding photo which was hanged in the wall, and she tried to reach out, not to talk but to slap. When she was about to slap, my Phil grabbed her wrist and stopped her from slapping me. He yelled at her to get out of the house. She demanded an explanation from him and the argument continued. My husband grabbed my wrist and took me our room while he was sobbing. He immediately hugged me and started to cry because he couldn't control his emotions. When he was a pre-T, his biological mom would abusive both physically and verbally to him and his biological sister. When his bio sister got her periods, she couldn't take the beatings that she got from their bio mom, and my husband told his bio mom to beat him instead of his sister. He would end up pretty badly and his sister would put medicine while crying. His father found out that his bio mom was abusive both of them. He filed for a divorce and got both of their custody and married my current Mill, who had a son. Later she gave birth to his half-teenage sister. Now he is a sobbing mess and now he fell asleep in bed and my Mill called me to come down immediately. When I came down, I saw someone who I thought to cut my contact with them. It was none other than my dad, his aunt, his parents. I immediately yelled them to leave the house, but when my husband's bio mom thanked my dad for telling about us and then she left. I became pale and frozen. My Mill asked if I was okay and I couldn't believe the fact that my father helped my husband bio mom to find out where we were and cause a scene. I yelled at father once again to get out, but his aunt tried to explain that it was a wrong decision to go NC and we should talk out, but my Sil yelled at them to get out, and if they tried to come to visit again there will be a restriction order against them. After a lot of loud yelling, my son came down, crying, and called me. I carried him and my father tried to call him and my son screamed as loud as he can because my father tried to snatch him from me, and I quickly took him to room and calmed him and laid him down and just sat there, completely drowned in thoughts. And some time later my Mill came in and asked if both of them are okay. I said they are okay and told her to take some rest. I don't know if my own dad wanted to make this chaos and made all of us a sobbing mess. At some point, I feared for my children's safety and for their life if they have this relationship with their grandpa. I don't know what to do now. All I want is peace. Please guys, give me some advice. I am currently a sobbing mess while I'm texting this. The atmosphere in here is just moody and sad. I couldn't take this stress. Comments, is it possible for Oop to get a restraining order against her father and her husband's biological mother with the help from Sil, who is a lawyer? Oop, we just talked about it, but she said there is a low chance of getting the restraining order because we don't have evidence against both my father and his bio mom. So we are thinking to move to different state and change our numbers. Update 4, August 18, 2024. Hi everyone, how are all doing? So I am here for an update. So we moved out and my Phil said he doesn't want to get the restriction order and he already found a home in another state and changed our phone numbers. I only gave my phone number to my mom and now we moved in and settled everything in this state. The neighbors over here is friendly, and after my husband, who got trauma reaction, immediately consulted a therapist and started his therapy. Guys, thank you for your support. I've also started a therapy too. I am sorry I couldn't add more things that had happened, but I was my Phil's decision to not reveal much things that had happened till now. I am so thankful to all of you guys.